Come with me to Texas State Tubes in San Marcos, Texas. This video is going to show you exactly what it's like to float with Texas State Tubes, from parking and checking in to shuttle, the float itself, and getting back at the end of the day. Also, if you want to know what to bring, what not to bring, how to float the river like a pro, and all my favorite river hacks, be sure to check out my Ultimate River Guide and my main river tips video linked below. The guide includes my complete packing list, Amazon recommendations, river rules, safety tips, and more to help you have the best day on the river. So this is us driving up into Texas State Tubes. This is what the entrance looks like. This float is usually about 3.5 to 4 hours. This can vary depending on water levels and if you are stopping or not. So check the website. Then we park, we get our things together, load up our tubes to take them, to inflate them. And we put our water shoes on, our sunscreen, lock up the car, and then head towards the check-in station. You can get your ticket ahead of time online. You just pick the day that you're going, how many tickets you want, and if you're going to be renting a tube or a cooler. And then Texas State Tube does offer discounts for students, teachers, and military, I believe. Purchasing your ticket ahead of time does help it go a little bit quicker here at the yellow tent. Here's where you sign your waiver or show your ticket, and then you get your wristbands. Back here is where you will grab your tube and or cooler tube if you are renting from them. I personally like to bring my own tubes. Highly recommend the Intex singles if you are bringing your own. Back here is also where the inflation station is to blow up your personal tubes. They do have porta potties on site if needed, and then on big holiday weekends or Saturdays, they do offer last minute ice and drinks if you need to purchase anything, which is really nice. Now, hopefully you will have watched my main river video and won't need to buy anything here, but we all forget things sometimes, so they do have hats, sunscreen, shoes, etc. here to purchase. They also have an option to leave and lock up your key if you don't feel comfortable taking it on the water. Now that our tubes are blown up, we walk towards the water entrance where they will give you a mesh trash bag, as well as make sure that you have no glass, styrofoam, or beer bongs. Keep the river clean, guys. This is one of the last few areas that is not a can ban river, which means we can still take cans and disposable items on the river, but you have to pick up your trash and the trash that you see. Once you step into the water, walk down a little ways to start getting your tubes situated. This is how we usually set up ours. Highly recommend use carabiners and rope and not tying your tubes together. Trust me, more on that later. Quick tip, always clip your belongings to a tube. And then it's time to start enjoying your float. You just chill, you hang out, you listen to your music, you have some drinks. It's such a fun time. This is when all the hard work of getting onto the river pays off. So you're going to first approach a bridge, and be aware for after the bridge, go towards the right side, pick up your butt because there's a little bit of rapids, and there's this tree on the left side that always gets people stuck, especially those big groups who are tied together. So stay on the right side if you can, and unlink before that tree if you need to. This is where you start to approach the first true rapids. You will start to see some tents set up, usually on the far left side, and the water will start to get a little louder. Right before we get to the rapids is where we unlink the carabiners, so that we can go only 1 to 2 people at the most connected over the rapids, because this is where those large groups who are all tied together can get stuck, tubes flip, coolers flip. So much can happen if you are tied together. Now, this is also when I put my water shoes back on, put my drink down, grab my paddle, and just be ready to lift my hiney because the rocks can hurt. So just be aware of that. And then also, you can still get stuck if you're by yourself, but there's just a less chance of that happening if you are by yourself or just with one other person. as you can see, some people survive and thrive, some people do not. They get stuck, they have to get out. So this is also why it's important to have water shoes on in the event that you do have to get out. So right after the majority of those big rapids at the end of that campsite where all the tents were, on the left side you will see Shotgun Island. This place is really fun. It's about the halfway point. Shout out to Shotgun Island for being the only place on the river to purchase adult beverages. They have awesome hats and merch available. The guys who run it are super chill and nice. They do take Apple Pay. Just make sure that you have your IDs with you. They are usually only operating on the weekends or big holidays, but it's a fun time to get out, party, chill for a bit, and then press on. And a little disclaimer, it's not always like this packed in party mode. It's mainly like this on the weekends and definitely Saturdays. So if you're wanting a more chill float, just go during the week, or if you're going to go on the weekends, go as soon as they open and then float straight through. Okay, after Shotgun Island, you're going to start approaching another tiny little set of rapids / tube chute. But this was on a weekday, this particular clip, so it's not always this chill. But try to stay to the right side and go towards that wall, because this is where it's more of like a tube chute and it's a little bit more fun and less rocky. You can go in the middle, but it's just going to be a little bit more rocky, so just pick up your butt. If you go to this right side, still go ahead and pick up your butt, because you could still ram into a rock. Then we reach what we like to call the big stop. So this is where a lot of people like to get out and chill and hang out. And this is also a great place to meet back up with your group and re-link up. And if you haven't noticed, I'm probably in different swimsuits, different sunglasses every time you see me, because this is a compilation of a ton of different clips from multiple river trips, because it's actually really hard to get all the footage you need in one trip. So then you link back up together and you press on and let the float continue. Then you're going to see another bridge, and from this bridge you have about another hour to an hour and a half left of the float if you're floating straight through. So here is where you are approaching the end of the float. It's on your left side. It's a big painted wall. It says Texas State Tubes on it. And the employees here will help you out if you need any help cutting your rope, but you shouldn't, because you'll be using carabiners. But if you need any help with getting out, getting your things out, and if you rented, they will throw your rented tubes up and help you with anything else that you need. Either go through these left side of stairs, or you can go further down and use these right set of stairs. So you just take all your things up and then deflate your tubes, and then you're going to walk up this big hill that they have, and then you're going to throw away your cans and walk towards the bus. The bus is going to take you back to your car where we parked at the beginning of the float. And if the worst happens and your keys end up at the bottom of the river, don't panic. Texas State Tubes has a locksmith service to help you out. Hopefully you never need it though. If you want to lower the chances of losing your valuables in the first place, check out my main river tips video and grab my free ultimate river guide. I go over exactly how I pack, what I bring, and the little things I do to keep everything safe on the river. Thanks for hanging out with me today at Texas State Tubes. It's literally my favorite place to float. If you have any river questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to grab my free river guide. Have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you on the river. You don't like the lights, but it's camera time.